by Persian Cat, by ChatGPT. Hi, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Lexi, and I'll be recapping the last episode of Love Island. I think it was episode 28 or something like that. So I'll get to the major part, which was the dumping, pretty soon, but I'll just mention a few highlights that happened in this episode. And the first thing I want to talk about is Kenzie and Parmita having their little, their little spat, because Kenzie had voted for Corbin and Parmita as least compatible couple. Well, one of their least compatible couples. And Parmita was not feeling that. She definitely, confronted Kenzie about it. They were kind of having a little, not argument really, but they were kind of going back and forth in the makeup room about it. I don't think she had to confront Kenzie about that because one, you and Kenzie, you're not like friends. It's not like this was your friend and, she did you dirty. And also, you guys are safe, so you're still in the villa. What's the problem? You only got that one vote, I think. And even if Kenzie is a little mad at you, is a little mad at Corbin, that's fair. That's actually reasonable because Corbin did do her dirty. Not saying he wasn't free to explore, but he did throw a lot of shade, a lot of disses Kenzie's way for absolutely no reason. He was just kind of mean to her and saying a lot of things about her that really weren't necessary to say, as someone who literally told her how America can't break this apart and how into her you were. You wrote that letter about her, and then as soon as you got to Casa, you switch up and just start talking all this crap. If Kenzie wants to be mad at you and get a little petty, that should have been reasonable. So honestly, I didn't mind seeing Parmita go because not because you're the one that got chosen, he really was rude to Kenzie. And I haven't really seen her admit that. I don't think we've seen Parmita say to Corbin, you did say some messed up things about Kenzie, or, she didn't acknowledge that. I didn't see her being very kind to Kenzie and acknowledging, that she can understand that she would be hurt. Now, Kenzie, I'm still on your ass because honestly, that conversation with Melanie, you should not be mad that Melanie picked you because Melanie was right in everything that she said. You saying Melanie is your best friend in here, you only said that because your best friend, Jen, got kicked out. You're telling all the girls that they're your best friend. You said it to Jen, and I'm like, Kenzie, please stop lying. Kenzie is such a lying, two-faced person. I'd be surprised if the girls really keep a friendship with her after the villa, because you just told Jen, in fact, you told Jen multiple times that she was your best friend in there. Now, because Jen got kicked out and you realized you're kind of on your own again, you suddenly want to go back to Melanie and try to befriend Melanie. And I'm glad Melanie called her out. She's like, no, you haven't been a very good friend to me. We haven't even talked that much. And that is true. We haven't seen them on camera. Compared to the first maybe 4 episodes, they were together a lot. It was kind of like Melanie and Kenzie. And then you had Anaya and Trinity in the beginning. But then Kenzie switched up on Melanie because of Corbin. And she tried to befriend Soul. She is very sneaky. I don't know why she was trying to take Melanie for an idiot because Melanie knows that you guys haven't been talking. So why are you trying to say we're best friends? No, your best friend was Jen and she's gone. You made your bed and now you have to lie in it because all your friends that you were trying to cling to, Soul, Jen, and even when the Casa girls came in, she was trying to stick more to the Casa girls. And now the other girls, the core 4, have their bond and you got left out, Kenzie, and that is your fault. I hope Melanie isn't really buying this. Corbin and Sincere had a conversation, and I must say that's one thing I admire with men. They can easily squash whatever little beef they're having. I'll give them their props for that. They're able to talk to each other and they don't hold a grudge, whereas the ladies will tend to hold more of a grudge. A lot of times the guys can just easily talk about it and move on. So we saw Corbin and Sincere have their little heart-to-heart. And yeah, Corbin gave him a dose of truth that he was moving mad. And I think Sincere accepts that. listen, Sincere will accept things and he'll acknowledge things, but then he doesn't change. So it's like he's very good at apologizing and saying the right things, and he'll take accountability in the moment, but then he still messes up. He has a lot more maturing to do. I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's something that can change easily, but I hope he will learn something from this experience. So on to the karaoke challenge. And listen, I loved this challenge. This has been my favorite challenge so far this season, because this is what we would like to see more of. We'd like to see more of the couples working together and showing their chemistry and doing something entertaining and just lighthearted and fun. Like, not every challenge needs to be a lot of kissing and spit exchanging and nasty food spitting in each other's mouths and bleh. It's just so nasty, right? So this challenge was very fun, very refreshing. I enjoyed it a lot. I was cringing in some of the moments because, like, even Zach and Kayda, I don't know why they gave Zach and Kayda such a slow and intimate song. I think they really set them up to lose the challenge, because everyone, like all the other couples, their songs were upbeat and they could dance and have a nice choreography. But then we get Zach and Kayda and it's "You'll Always Be My." That song is for long time lovers. Like, these people have known each other for a month. Please, like, why are they singing Endless Love? And the shade with Melanie and Sincere is a song. Melanie, I think she said she's a theater kid. I'm not sure if she said that. I think I kind of heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised because Melanie's acting was on point. Like, she was performing really well. She was like, but that song was so funny that they got it because it was so fitting for Sincere's lying ass. She was like, "You better shape up." That song was perfect for them, and they killed their performance, not gonna lie. Other couple who killed their performance was Kenzie and Dylan. I forgot his name just now because he's such a non-factor. I don't know. Oh my God. Anyway, they killed their performance though. I'm no Kenzie fan. I'm no Dylan fan, but I can give props where props are due. And they definitely were the best. And I'm glad the Islanders kind of all agreed on that. They got their standing ovation. And Kenzie was living in her crown. She was living because she loves the attention. And she's always doing her splits and trying to seek that, attention from everyone else. And she got it tonight. Well deserved, but I was just like, oh, this is just what Kenzie lives for, But yeah, I was cringing at some of the performances. Anaya, Carl, I like you guys, but I was cringing out of that. Loved Trinity and Bryce. They're just so funny. So, their performance was cute too. Tierra and Casey, they also did pretty well. They were fun to watch. Who else was there? Who am I missing? Oh, Corbin and Parmida. Oh my goodness, like, please skip. I was skipping through. And Parmida was annoying me with that that she kept doing. Like, please shut up. I actually think Corbin got the ick from her doing that multiple times. So the performances are done, the winners are crowned, and we now hear the results from America's vote. Now, the top couples who were safe, not surprising, but kind of a little surprising. Like, we knew Anaya, Trinity, they were always going to be safe. Melanie and Sincere, kind of surprising because they're so rocky. But also Melanie has a huge fan base, so I could kind of understand that. And then KC and Tierra, a little surprising, but not too surprising, only because I saw what people were saying online. And especially on Threads, I saw a lot of people rooting for them. Kayda and Zach, I was a little surprised, but again, not too surprised because their fan base, in the beginning, people really liked Kayda, including me. And I still like Kayda. A lot of people still really like Kayda. It's really the couple that people don't like. And I guess Kayda's fan base isn't strong enough to really pull her up. Like Melanie's fan base is strong. Even though people don't like Sincere, like her fan base is strong enough to keep her safe. But I guess Kayda's fan base is not as strong. Tiara and Casey were safe, and those two were shocked. and this is how you know that they did some BS and they know that they are guilty of some BS. Because why are you so shocked? Because Anaya and Carl got together at the same time that you two got together. So why are you so shocked? If Carl and Anaya are safe, why are you so shocked that you're safe? That lets me know that you definitely know, even though Casey admitted to this, right? I actually don't mind them being safe. Like, I wasn't feeling the way Casey handled Anaya. I was on him about that for sure. And I am still not like a Casey fan, a Casey supporter, but I'm okay with it. Like, they do seem to have a good connection, him and Tiara. So it's like, I'm not mad at him being safe, because the people who were in the bottom, it's like they could have been in the bottom. Zach and Kayda, let's talk about that, because those were like one of the kind of OG day one couples. They really thought that they are, you know, one of America's favorites. Kayda knows that Zach is, what's his name? Well, he's the brother of that guy who was on the show last year. So I think Kayda feels like, okay, he kind of has some popularity. And Zach also sees that Kayda is very beautiful. Like, and I don't really think Zach likes Kayda that much. I think he just views her as like the top girl in the villa. And he kind of feels like he has the prize in a way. So he is sticking to her. I was glad they're in the bottom. As much as I like Kayda, I think this was a good wake-up call for them. And I don't know how Zach knows. He must have like he's probably the most self-aware person, because we see him in the preview for next episode on the bed, like dying, crying, like passing out, screaming, crying, throwing up. Okay. And he's saying, and I think it's me they don't like, they don't think I'm good enough for you. And you know what? Probably he's just doing that as like a manipulation tactic. So Kayda will turn around and be like, no, it's not you. Maybe, because who knows with Zach? He's just very manipulative, annoying, and trifling, and always seems to be conspiring. Like Zach in the villa this year feels like how Ace felt last year. And Ace drew Shelly down. And I think that's what's happening. It's the same thing with Zach. Like, he's drawing Kayda down this year because he's so disliked. And I think this decision by America will actually shake up that couple a little bit. I don't know, because now that Zach kind of finds this out, that he's not one of the favorites, I don't know how he's going to. I feel like there may be some like shaking up in that couple. So I'm interested to see how they move forward. But they were really surprised. I was kind of surprised, but I'm glad it happened to give them that wake-up call. We get the bottom three couples, and Kenzie and Dylan got automatically saved because they won the challenge. Lucky them, because they probably would have been the ones to go if they were in the bottom. So good job, Kenzie took this seriously, and they won that challenge. So they were immune. So now we have Corbin, ChatGPT, and Parmesan, Persian Cat, in the bottom, as well as Kayda and Zach in the bottom. And of course, this vote, we knew that they were not going to send Kayda and Zach home. So at this point, they could have just sent Parmesan and Corbin home, because they were never going to vote Kayda out when you look at the friendships. And that is why friendships are in fact very important in the villa. The only couple who chooses Corbin is of course his bestie KC, and we know Tiara and Parmita are Casa girls, so you know she stuck by her as well, which it was nice. So they weren't standing there by themselves, because those two were kind of close to them, and also they already knew that the others were going to vote for Kayda and Zach. So it was nice of them to, you know, cast their vote where they did, so they didn't end up standing there by themselves. So Corbin and Parmita, they got kicked out, and I don't really care about this. Honestly, a lot of them could have gotten booted tonight and I wouldn't care. Like, it could have been KC and TT. It could have been Kenzie and Dylan. Like, I didn't mind any of those couples leaving. So this literally felt like nothing to me. But Corbin was literally shedding tears, which is a big thing, because I'm Jamaican, and Jamaican men, I can tell you, are not criers for any reason. So Corbin, knowing that he's on TV, being viewed by millions, and he broke down in tears, like, that was that was pretty genuine. You know that was real, because he was fighting that, and that's how you know they make strong bonds in the villa, because like he was really sad to be leaving his boys and everything. So that was pretty, I guess, refreshing to see him tear up right there. But yeah, him and Parmida left. They packed their suitcases and they're out of the villa. So now we're left with the top 6 couples. And I'm interested to see who's going to make it to the top 4. If Kayda and Zach can make a redemption, or if Casey and Tierra will really get that spot. And right now, I'm thinking Casey and Tierra will get that spot in the final 4. Because based on the vote tonight and what I'm seeing online from these KC fans, and that's the thing, I don't even think they're KC fans for real. They're not Casey and Tierra fans. A lot of them are just like Anaya haters, and like I want to go as far as to say women haters. So they're rooting for KC. You know, they're not even rooting for Tierra as much as they're rooting for KC. So I think KC's, like, I don't have anything against KC. I didn't like the way he treated Anaya, but after he apologized, and I think he really kind of reflected, and he, you know, that was a genuine apology. I don't have anything against them, and I think him and Tierra do have chemistry, but a lot of his fans, like, they're voting out of spite. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, a lot of people are voting for Casey out of spite. And I don't know if that's a good thing, because when you have fans kind of out of spite, I don't really think that's too sustainable, you know, because you want people to like you genuinely for you. And I think that's how they're able to have these careers outside of the villa, is when you have fans who like you for you. So if you have a lot of people just rooting for you because they don't like Anaya, and they're just rooting for this guy to root for this guy to get back at a woman and stuff like that, that's not really sustainable outside of the villa, you know? And I think a large part of KC's audience, they are men. Many women are also rooting for him, but I think a lot of men are rooting for him. And we know that it's really the women and the dollars of the women who make these islanders succeed after the villa. Like, men, when it comes to the male audience, you don't want the male audience. You want the female audience. That's where the attention is. That's where the money is. This is kind of what happened with Cooking with Kaya, right? We see this, and her case is a direct proof of this. It's like, when you build your audience on men, that is not very sustainable. You know, you want women. So I don't know what KC's post-villa career will look like if that's his audience. But I do wish him luck. I mean, everyone has made mistakes on this show. So even though I'm not going to vote for him, it's like, you know, I hope he does well for himself. But yes, that's the end of the episode. Bye. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.